In case you ever wanted 1 million gear coins, or all the S-rank limiteds you couldn't pull, here's how you completely break the new Mystery of Arpeggio Fault event in ZZZ and give yourself infinite contribution points. And if you didn't know, this is the game's new TV mode. If you're starting from like level 1 with nothing, that's absolutely fine. You just have to keep in mind that this might take a little bit longer to set up, but rest assured, you can still do it perfectly fine. First off, let's get into what you can do from just the menus. Now, in your tech tree, which is a list of passives you can earn by completing segments of the Arpeggio Fault, you're going to want to prioritize primarily gear coin bonus buffs, and secondly, XP bonus buffs. Editor Sparky here. I forgot to mention, but Medical Facility is extremely helpful as well, as we're going to be intentionally taking quite a bit of damage. And if you can't get Medical Facility, try to get Toy Ambulance, the Resonium in the hollow itself. XP will come into play in a second, and keep in mind, you can run whatever other passives you like here for comfort, but this TV mode event isn't really all that hard, so you could probably do without them. Our goal here is mainly as many gear coins as possible, so whatever gets you there is up to you. In this event, you also have pre-made sets of sub-strategies, which are, in normal people words, just level up bonuses that you earn by getting XP in every mission. I'm going to recommend Deep Pockets, as again we're going for as many gear coins as possible, and if you have some XP bonus passives like we mentioned earlier, this is going to allow you to get even more gear coins. You earn Deep Pockets by completing Stage 3, and remember, even if you don't have Deep Pockets, this will still work fine up to a point, but the later you get in the Fault, you're going to have a really hard time running without it. As for what we can do in the TV world itself, you're going to want to buy Nicole. If you don't have her, don't worry, she only costs about 25 contribution points, I think. I can't say the prices since I already own her, sorry. Next, you're going to want to purchase the extra companion slot upgrade for 50 contribution points, and fill that extra party member slot with Nekomata, who only costs 10 contribution points. We're using this team specifically because Nicole's attack scales with the number of gear coins you own, and Nekomata generates extra gear coins every time she hits somebody. Nekomata will effectively add 1 extra attack to Nicole's every time she hits someone. In total, this main party member setup only costs about 85 contribution points, which, compared to some of the other agents' singular prices, is a pretty good investment, and you'll see why I use the word investment in a bit. Once you have your team assembled, I recommend loading into Stage 3, which is Outpost Beacon's Vault Floor, as it seems to be the most effective with the strat, but if you know a better one, please feel free to comment below. Here are a couple tips before we start. Prioritize Resonium that spawn gear coins, ether crystals, enemies, and optionally bombs over anything else. If you can't find any, take Resonium that doesn't alter your current setup too much, or that just gives you gear coins. Also, be sure not to take any items that will stop bombs from exploding. In terms of XP, we're aiming for levels 1 and 4, but at the beginning, mainly just level 1. Deep Pockets, the sub-strategy we picked earlier, gives us an extremely useful passive at level 1 in Legacy Inheritance, giving us guaranteed 1 to 2 gear coin tiles each time we get hit. With this, and Medical Facility from earlier if you remember, you can effectively generate infinite money, so long as your Medical Facility healing tile odds are good enough. The more gear coins you have, the more enemies Nicole can one-shot, and the more XP you can buy for yourself, or health if you need it. Level 4 is the cherry on top, as once you reach it, it grants a generous amount of gear coins dropped all around the map for you to pick up, increasing Nicole's damage output even more, and triggering some Resonium we'll get later. At the start of your run, add Nicole and Nekomata to your party and get going. Clear the ethereals and ether crystals as you normally would, and make sure to make decisions that maximize gear coins and XP as much as possible. Defeat all of the ethereals on the floor for their XP, and spend a few gear coins on extra XP. Don't be too afraid to spend too many gear coins on XP, as once you reach level 4, you won't need any more XP or gear coins at all. If you get the option, I recommend getting Combat Gloves module and Antique Pocket Watch as soon as possible. In my run, I should have picked these. Proceed through the floor as you normally would and pick up some more XP. If your health is running low, consider using the bomb passives in the tech tree to whittle down the floor boss's health, or purchase extra health from the shop. At this point, you'll probably already be at least level 2 once you've gone down a couple floors, and have a decent amount of gear coins. Again, don't be afraid to purchase XP to get you over that level 4 threshold, because that's where we want to be at this point. Once you get to level 4, pick up all the surrounding gear coins and find a shopkeep. It only costs 300 gear coins to restock the shop, and we have some Resonium we need to get. Purchase all the Resonium already in the shop, and then get ready to continue purchasing and restocking until we get the Resonium we're looking for. These Resonium will effectively allow us to create an infinite chain. Using bombs or spikes, but more preferably bombs, you will take damage, spawning gear coins, using the level 1 passive. Picking up those gear coins will either spawn a bomb, an ether crystal, or an enemy. Destroying the ether crystals may spawn enemies, and the enemies may damage you or drop gear coins, resulting in more bombs and more enemies, which, yeah. So this effectively creates an ethereal death machine, generating as many contribution points as you want. The Resonium we're looking for would be Insecticide, Nameless Book, Combo Sword, Hollow Robot, Standard Power Medicine, Health Medicine, Expired VIP Card, Sashimi Knives, Combat Gloves Module, Farewell Paper Cranes, Antique Pocket Watch, Coin Collection, Toy Ambulance, Exclusive Card Pack, and Bag of Salt. Those are the main ones. Some of these are S ranks, so you can just bank on getting them later, but I would go for getting the B ranks as soon as possible, especially the ones that spawn enemies or spawn extra ether crystals and gear coins, regardless of the criteria. If you find any more Resonium that you think would be helpful or fits this list, feel free to comment them below, but keep in mind these are just the main ones you need to get this setup working. There's also one that spawns a bomb when you take damage, but I can't remember what it's called. Sorry. If you know what it is, please comment that. With these Resonium in your inventory, find an open area and either take some damage, pick up some gear coins, or drop some bombs. Pick up the gear coins that spawn from you taking damage and continue picking up everything to cause a chain reaction that will last pretty long, or infinite if you play your cards right. If it ever ends, simply drop another bomb, or find another way to take damage to restart the chain. While the odds of spawning ethereals during these chains aren't insane, they are still pretty good, sitting at about 25% on coins and another 30% on ether crystals. And with this in mind, you will inevitably end up killing a lot of ethereals and getting a lot of contribution points. Our goal in doing all of this and getting the return on our investment is to add Yanagi to our party. To do that, we need 100 contribution points for the extra party member slot and 70 for Nagi herself. That's 170 gear coins in total, or maybe 175 if I don't remember the prices properly. If we're going for a pretty lowball estimate here at 5 ethereals defeated per minute, plus another lowball estimate of the ethereals you already defeated on your way to the bottom of this mission, let's say 25, you'll only have to do this for about a half an hour, or you can just leave when you get bored. Either way, if you got to this point at all, by the time you leave, you're going to be like filthy stinking rich. I mentioned earlier that we're doing all this saving for Nagi, and I picked Nagi specifically because, at least from what I've seen, the later floors can be skimpy on the XP provided. This makes it much harder to get one of our infinite gear coin chains going, and even harder to get the initial damage boost for Nicole, since it can take forever to reach level 4. While on the later floors and stages you're not necessarily going to be aiming for really high gear coin chains or making them as long as possible, having extra gear coins and extra XP from Yanagi makes it so that Nicole can do enough damage to clean sweep all of the bosses you find in later floors. Nagi will raise your XP gains here, even on later floors, drastically, allowing you to continue using the same strategy from before, albeit probably less effectively and less needed on harder missions, seeing as, you already have a lot of contribution points. But you can always buy whoever you want, as they are your points now. Suffice it to say, this event really isn't all that difficult, and doing a trick like this is definitely not necessary. However, it is a pretty fun thing you can do, and I recommend you trying it out sometime if you feel so inclined. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like if this helped you, dislike if it didn't, and subscribe for more stuff like this. Good luck on your pulls, and good night.